Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Pat Doherty Field here in Centerville, Iowa, on the campus of Indian Hills Community College. It is time for baseball. I'm Russ W. Oker, and along with me is Chad Lee Kestner. And tonight we are busy on all the different ways we're bringing you the ball game. The Big Reds are set to take on the Clarke Indians, and we have coverage not only here on the pitch. This is our pitch sports show this week on KCOG 99.7 FM, 1400 AM. But also available online at thepitchsportshow.com, where you can get audio and video, and the Pitch Facebook Live, multiple ways to catch the broadcast. And then if you can't get any of that, Chad, Josh Bryce is live tweeting. So if you don't know what's going on at Pat Doherty Field tonight, you're just not trying.
That's right, because we got it all covered. We're getting pretty fancy up here, thanks to A.J. Anderson and Josh Bryce for tweeting, and me and you up here having the easy job.
Yeah, we've got the fun part.
That's
Everybody
right.
else has to actually work hard. We just get to watch the game and bring them the coverage. So we're excited to have the pitch on a Friday night this week, and throughout the summer, stay tuned for when we will be bringing you ball games. Not a whole lot to cover on Wednesday nights, so we're bringing you ball games on different nights of the week. And again, of course, the pitch extra innings along with us tonight. A.J. Anderson, Brandon Miller on that side of things. We're going to take a quick break. We will come back, and we will take a look at the Demery Auction Service starting lineups when we come back right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. Centerville Big Reds and the Clarke Indians going to do battle tonight here at Pat Doherty Field. And, Chad, this is a ball game the Big Reds fully expect to win. Looking at their conference record, we're 8-3, and they are 0-10. But you could expect to win it, but you have to win it if you want to stay in a conference race. You cannot afford a hiccup. And you know Clarke's playing the rest of their year just trying to spoil it for somebody.
Yeah, they're definitely in that spoiler role here. They're coming out. They're going to do everything they can to knock off this Big Reds and help out the Knoxville Panthers, who are leading the conference right now. And I believe we're still tied for second place with that 8-3 mark.
Well, let's take a look at the Demery Auction Service starting lineups for tonight for the Clarke Indians, coming into the game with a record of 2-13 on the season. 0-10 in conference. Connor Deutsch will lead off, and he'll be the catcher. The shortstop, Casey Kindred, bats second. Second baseman, Billy Otto, will bat third. Hitting cleanup, Ethan Potter, the first baseman. Batting fifth is the pitcher, Peyton Winship. Batting sixth is the center fielder, Marshall Kearns. Batting seventh in right field, it's Evan Hagan. And batting in the eighth spot is the designated hitter, Zethan May. And batting ninth is Dalton Stubbe at third base. And your left fielder is Taylor Henry. That's the starting lineup for manager Brian Cole and the Indians of Clarke. For the Centerville Big Reds, manager Ryan Hodges has his Big Reds off to a good start. They're 11-5 on the year and 8-3 in conference. This is a solid Big Red baseball team that expects to do some great things this year. And here's the lineup out there tonight. Tanger Terpstra will lead off and play left field. The third baseman, McCain Oden, fresh off the cycle the other night, is going to bat second. Shortstop, the senior, Brett Kozarich, will hit third. Pitcher is Trey Reinhardt. Trey Reinhardt, the senior, gets the ball tonight, and he'll bat cleanup. First baseman, Daniel Hargrave, bats fifth. Batting sixth, Tyson Blome at second base. Batting seventh is the eighth grader, Merrick Matthews, out in right field. Batting eighth is the catcher, Caden Kozarich. Caden gets the call behind the plate tonight. And in center field, another eighth grader, Brady Kozarich, will bat ninth. So they're wrapping up the lineups here at Pat Doherty Field, and we will stand for the national anthem. We're going to be stepping away for that in just a moment. But, Chad, Trey Reinhardt goes to the mound tonight. Trey's a battler. You would expect him to come out and throw strikes and take care of business.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. Trey's going to come out and just let his defense help him out. I don't think Trey's looking for a lot of strikeouts. Just cut down on the errors, no walks, and let your defense help you out.
All right, we'll step away for the playing of the national anthem. We'll come back to Pat Doherty right after this. Centerville Big Reds have taken to the field. The announcements of the lineups have been made. The national anthem has been played, and we are ready for baseball. Let's take a look at that Big Red defense out there. And in left field, it'll be Taggart Terpstra. The center fielder is Brady Kozarich. In right field, it's Merrick Matthews. The third baseman is McCain Oden. Brett Kozarich at short. Tyson Blome is at second. The first baseman is Daniel Hargrave. Behind the plate tonight is Caden Kozarich. And on the bump, the senior Trey Reinhardt. We'll go to work against this lineup from Clarke. Clarke 2-13 on the season and 0-10 in conference play.
Yeah, Trey's only pitched 3 2/3 innings. He's given up 5 hits. His ERA is 7.64, which you're looking to kind of drop that down a little bit this year.
First pitch from Reinhardt to Deutsch is down low, and this game is underway. That's in there for a strike. Russ Oker, Chad Kessner on the call. We've got A.J. Anderson and Brandon Miller working the technical side of things. Miller on the camera tonight. A.J. makes it all happen. 2 balls and 1 strike just underway here. No score. And that's upstairs, 3-1. Right down Broadway, runs the count full. This one's lifted in the air into left center field, and Terpstra will come over. Looked like Brady was having a little trouble finding that one out there, but Tiger Terpstra comes over and makes the catch for the first out of the ball game.
Yeah, it looked like Brady was he's looking up kind of towards the sun, and Tiger had a nice beat on it. He got a nice jump on that and went over and took over. The upperclassman told the young pup, hey, step back, I'll take this one.
Here comes Casey Kindred, the shortstop, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Josh Rice will be on in a little bit to tell us about all things Hy-Vee. This is the Pitchfork Show on KCOG 99.7 FM, 1400 AM. Presented each and every week by your local Hy-Vee. That one missed, and the count goes even at a ball and a strike. That one missed as well.
Kindred batting .237 on the season.
Missed outside, and 3-1. Trey struggling a little bit early here to find the strike zone, and that's a walk.
That's what we were talking about there, Russ. We don't want to see the free passes. We don't want to extend this game. Trey is, you can tell he's not as comfortable up there on the bump, but he's only pitched a little over 3 innings, so maybe he's got to settle down just a little bit and just throw it in there and let your defense help.
That one was inside, and it's 1-0 on Billy Otto. Billy is the second baseman for Clarke. Varsity game first tonight because the forecast is calling for some nasty stuff a little later. They want to make dang sure they get the varsity game played. And if the weather cooperates, there will be a junior varsity game after the varsity game tonight. 2 balls and no strikes on Billy Otto, the second baseman. And that one is in there for strike 1. Trey Reinhardt, from what I hear, is going to go play ball at Marshalltown next year for the Marshalltown Tigers. They show bunt, runner goes. This one's hit into right field. Could be a double play. Merrick Matthews has it, and he'll fire to first, and got him. Double play, Big Reds. The hit and run was on, and this time it works in favor of the Big Reds as Otto lines out to right, and Merrick Matthews makes the play and fires it into first base for the double play. We've been through a half inning. There's no score. We're back on Hy-Vee's The Pitch after this. No scores. We head to the bottom half of the first inning here at Pat Doherty Field. Centerville Big Reds will have Tiger Terpstra, McCain Oden, and Brett Cosridge scheduled to bat. Defensively for Clarke, it's Henry in left, Kearns in center, and Hagan in right. Stubbe's in third, Kindred and Otto up the gut, Potter at first, Deutsch behind the plate, and the pitcher is Winship. And Chad Lee, you got anything on this guy?
Yeah, he's 1-2 on the season. He's got 4 starts. He's thrown 19 innings. His ERA is 4.79, and opposing batters are batting .235 against the young sophomore.
His ERA is what?
4.79.
I thought you said 1.79.
No, 4.79.
That's a fairly low batting average for the opponents.
Right.
So he's obviously had some moments of being effective. Well, he'll face Tiger Terpstra to start it off here for the Big Reds. The junior, We'll try to get things going early, and that is down and away, 1-0. Not a good start to the night as the Clarke bus apparently rammed into one of the vehicles of the umpire. So that's not how you want to start your Friday night. Strike called, 1-1. There's a line drive into right center field. It's going to get down. And this one could be extra bases. Terpstra will head around first into second, and they're going to hold him right there. So a leadoff double for Tiger Terpstra. And McCain Oden steps in now. McCain just a freshman, but a .525 batting average. This young man can play some ball. He had a big night the other night on our broadcast. We think he may have actually had the cycle, Chad. The ruling on the obstruction call must have been a double, and then he gets third on the obstruction. I had scored it as a triple, but I'm guessing the correct way probably to score that is just a double and then an extra base on obstruction. So we believe he did indeed hit for the cycle.
Yeah, we're going to have to, or I'm going to have to go apologize to McCain. We were giving him a hard time that he should have stopped at second on one of those triples and hit for the cycle, but I guess he actually did.
He knew what he was doing, bud. Ball on a strike now. Breaking ball lifted in the air, and this one will get out of play. We want to thank the folks who make the Facebook Live portion of the broadcast possible tonight. Pershey Roofing and Painting since 1961. The name you trust when it comes to roofing and painting in southern Iowa and northern Missouri is Pershey Roofing and Painting. Cook Insurance, Dan and Dale Sales and the Sales family. Always willing to help out to get the coverage for these young men and women. Demery Auction Service, Cosby Audio, Video and Appliance, your U.S. Cellular dealer. And Northside Insurance bringing us the video coverage tonight. And Oden is plunked in the back with an errant curveball. And the Big Reds have the first two men aboard. And here is Brett Kosrich. Brett had a big night the other night, Chad. He had been struggling a little bit. We knew that this young man has the ability. I fully expect his batting average to be near 350 by the end of the season, and it jumped up quite a bit after the other night.
Yeah, he jumped up to 298, so I believe he was 3 for 4, the other, or 3 for 3. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's going to get that batting average up where it belongs, and I think the other night it was just a builder on his confidence.
Yeah, Brett was 3 for 4 the other night against the Central Lee team. He's got an opportunity here to give the Big Reds an early lead. Bottom of the first, no score here. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. Terpstra with a huge secondary lead out there.
Tiger getting a little frisky out there. Every once in a while he'll wander away and try to make something happen.
Well, let's see if Clarke decides to hold a little bit. Second baseman Billy Otto comes in. Now he backs away. And the pitch. That is a strike two called, 1-2. We'll have some softball coming your way in the next couple of weeks. We've got another Big Red game next week. So a lot of coverage of your summer sports season thanks to the Pitch Sports Show here in Centerville. There's a ball hit towards the right side. I believe that's going to be a foul ball down there, and it is. So the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes on the senior, Brett Koslerich, son of Rick and Melissa. His younger brother, Brady, is an 8th grader on the team, and then his cousin, Caden, is the sophomore catcher for the Big Reds. So 1/3 of the Big Red lineup comes from the Koslerich family tonight. Peyton Winship looks to second and now to the plate, and there's a ground ball towards short. To second for 1, and around the horn they go. That won't be in time, but they get the lead runner on the fielder's choice as Kindred flips to Otto. Otto had a little trouble getting the ball out of his glove and had no chance to turn to double play. So runners on the corners with 1 out, and here's senior Trey Reinhardt stepping in, hitting at a .444 clip with 5 home runs on the season. He's the biggest power threat in the Big Red lineup. the biggest power threat in Big Red history is working the PA tonight, Chad.
Yes, he is. Big Mike Miller.
He launched a few out of this ballpark.
Yeah, out there to right field, he knocked down some trees out there, I believe.
1 ball, no strikes on Reinhardt. Down and in, and it gets away. And Terpstra will cruise in with the first run of the ball game on the wild pitch. Actually, I think that'd be a pass ball. And Kosrich moves down to second. 1-0, Big Reds. Reinhardt looking to get an early RBI here. There's one hit hard, but snagged by the third baseman, Stubbe. Across, the throw is low and dug out of there by Potter at first. So a nice play by Stubbe, and then an even better play by Potter to dig that out of the dirt. Kosrich moves to third, and Reinhardt is retired. And here's Daniel Hargrave now. Daniel's the junior son of Brian and Melissa Hargrave. He's playing the 1 sack tonight. We saw him on the bump on Tuesday. That's down low, 1-0. Winship works from the stretch with a man on third. This one's chopped towards the third baseman, Stubbe. He throws across and got him. So the Clarke Indians kind of dodge a little bit of could have been a huge first inning for the Big Reds. They get a couple of nice plays by the third baseman, Stubbe. And the inning comes to a close. The Big Reds do grab the lead. It's 1-0. Big Reds. We're going to keep it here during the break and bring Josh Bryce in, as we've got a lot of great things going on out there at Hy-Vee. Of course, Hy-Vee is our presenting sponsor on the Pitch Sports Show each and every week. And Josh, I know the summer, it's not even officially summer yet, but the heat is here, and the heat is on at Hy-Vee with all the deals.
Absolutely. It sure feels like summer out right now, doesn't it? Yeah, we got a little ways to go yet. We got a lot of great stuff out there at Hy-Vee. If you're thirsty, we've got Gatorade 8-packs today and tomorrow for just $2.99 a piece. We have Pepsi 24-pack select varieties for just $4.88. We also have Hy-Vee 12-pack pop select varieties for just $1. And to cool yourself down, we have Hy-Vee 4-quart pails of ice cream select flavors for just $2.99.
All of that right out here at your local Hy-Vee store. And Josh, we always like being out at the old ballpark. You've been a busy guy this summer. Most of the time you have the PA here at the Big Reds game, but tonight you got the night off, so you're going to be joining us throughout the game here on the pitch, and you're going to be live tweeting on the pitch Twitter page.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll be doing Twitter updates every half inning, so you make sure to follow us at Pitch Sports Show on Twitter and follow the games. We're going to be here. I'll be here for almost every home game the rest of the way out, so we'll be doing the live updates every home game on Twitter for us.
All right, Josh Bryce from your local Hy-Vee store. Thank you very much. You are listening to The Pitch on KCOG Centerville, presented by Hy-Vee, and watching online at the Pitch Facebook page and available at thepitchsportshow.com. So you do not have to have Facebook to watch the ball game. You can watch it at thepitchsportshow.com. Ethan Potter, the first baseman, steps in for the Clarke Indians. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Peyton Winship, and center fielder, Marshall Kearns. Reinhardt delivers, and that's inside, 1-0. That one caught the outside corner, a ball and a strike. I want to thank the folks at Chico Construction for making the Pitch Sports Show possible. They're one of our fine sponsors of the show each and every week. Also, we want to thank Henley Dental for joining us on the broadcast each week, and the Daily Iowegian. Reinhardt continues to struggle a little bit to find the strike zone here. There he does, and it's lifted in the air, left side, foul territory. Oden drifting over towards the fence, and he's got it. Chad, this is a big ballpark. As a hitter, it helps your average a lot of times because there's a lot of hits out there. But sometimes it hurts you because there's so much foul ground that, like there, most parks, that ball's out of play.
Yeah, you got a good bunch of real estate over there coming off at third base. McCain did a nice job floating over, finding the wall and making sure he didn't run into it, which you had a tendency to do over there at third base, but made a nice play.
This one's bunted back towards the pitcher, Reinhardt, and he'll have an easy play there to retire Peyton Winship, the pitcher. Good idea there by Winship, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get it past Trey. I think if he would have gotten that pulled a little bit more, Chad, towards the left side, he might have had a chance.
Yeah, McCain's playing back behind the bag, so it would have been tough for him to get up to it and throw out the runner, but the ball just kind of carried right to Trey, and Trey did a nice job picking it up and throwing it over first base.
2 outs, nobody on, 1-0 Big Reds, and here's Marshall Kearns, the center fielder, swung on and missed to even the count at a ball and a strike. Pete Harkness Chevrolet Buick in Centerville is the place for your next new or used vehicle. Pete Harkness Chevrolet Buick in Centerville. Stop out and see Kyle and the gang. Swing and a miss. And we want to thank the Owl Pharmacy, Frank Resnicek, and the crew there for joining us on the broadcast on the Pitch Sports Show. Check us out online at thepitchsportshow.com. There's a swing and a miss. First strikeout of the ball game for Reinhardt, and that brings the second inning to a close. The Big Reds will have Beloma, Matthews, and Caden Kosrich scheduled first 3 batters. We lead at 1-0. We're back to Pat Doherty right after this. Centerville Big Reds lead at 1-0. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. Tyson Beloma, the junior second baseman, steps in, hitting .354 on the season, and he'll get his first at-bat of the ball game. Again, we're playing the varsity game first tonight because of the threat of weather. Got a little rain last night, Chad, and I don't think anybody be complaining if we get some more tonight and even a little more this weekend. We are in dire need of a little moisture.
Yeah, it was a nice rain last night. It came down hard there, probably around 11 o'clock last night, and from the reports I got, anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches. So, but we'll take another dose of it tonight if we could.
Another couple inches would be real nice. 1 ball, no strikes on Beloma. There's a breaking ball that missed outside, 2-0. Henry in left, Kearns in center, Hagen in right, Stubbe at third, Kindred at short, Otto at second, Potter at first, Deutsch behind the plate, taking the pitches from Winship. Line drive inside the line and fair. Beloma will come around first, and he's going to head for second as Henry had a little trouble picking it up out there. So that'll be a double to lead off the inning for Tyson Beloma.
It's Tyson's 6th double on the season. Nice piece of hitting, got it right inside the line, and rolled down there into the left field corner.
Here's Merrick Matthews now, one of 2 8th graders in the lineup. Right-handed hitter, left-handed thrower. That is in there for a strike. It's hard to believe these guys just a couple of years ago were playing Little League baseball, and now here they are in the starting lineup for the Centerville Big Reds. Merrick's twin sister, Claire, is having a phenomenal season for the Redettes. Her mother was a pretty good softball player, as I recall.
Yeah, very good softball player, very good track runner.
Here's the 0-1. Merrick shows bunt, pulls back and takes a breaking ball inside, 1-1. Well, I think Claire has at least 3 home runs already, it may be more, 3. So I would say that, I don't know how many her mother hit in high school. I know she hit some, but I'm betting money Claire passes her by comfortably at some point. That one goes to the screen, and down to third base goes Beloma. So 2-1. Beloma at third with nobody out. The Big Reds leading this thing 1-0. It's a ball game they're expected to win, and really expected to win handily. But you know that the Clarke Indians are not just going to show up and let you have it. They're going to fight you. And these are the games you have to take care of business. There's a nice curveball in there for a strike. 2-2. This time Winship works in the windup with a runner on third. That's down and away. Counts full now on Matthews. Got to put something in play here and bring the run in. There's one hit into right field. Should be playable for Hagan. He couldn't get it. He drops it. That'll be an E9, and the run will score, which if you're Merrick, it's either way. But I think that Tyson was probably going to be able to tag up and score, so really that costs Merrick an RBI and hurts his batting average just a little bit.
Yeah, that's one Merrick would you hate to say I don't want to be on first base, but I think Merrick would take
in the interest of the team,
yes.
He wants to be on first base.
But it looked like Tyson probably would have scored either way.
Yeah, Tyson runs well, and I think he was going to be able to tag and score on that. So after the error, Matthews on first with nobody out. Snap, throw down, and he's back in there. Well, we'll see if Coach Hodges elects to try the arm of Deutsch here. Merrick runs fairly well.
Just one stolen base in one attempt for Merrick.
That's 100%, Chad.
It is.
Well, they're keeping an eyeball peeled on the young man as they throw over, and he has to get the uniform dirty. This dive back brought to you by Tide, right? Is it?
Yeah, something like that.
Get dirty so Mom can wash the uniform. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball snagged by the pitcher, Winship. He'll spin and throw to second for one. They'll come around, but it won't be in time to get the double play. It looked like at first Winship was going to go to first base, and then he realized I need to go to second base and get the lead runner. And so Caden Kosrich reaches on the fielder's choice, and we'll likely have a courtesy runner here for the catcher. And we will, and that'll be number 24. I believe that's Smiley Cochran, isn't it?
It certainly is, Russ. Caleb with nice speed down there at first base. It's always a nice luxury to have someone like Caleb Cochran coming off the bench and running for you.
Caleb, one of 3 sophomores this spring to qualify for a state tournament. It was a good year for the sophomore class and the Big Reds and Redettes. That's inside and almost hits Brady. Jackson Oker and Emily Lewis ran state track, and Caleb qualified as an individual in state golf. So good spring for some of our Big Reds and Redettes, and it's nice to see the youngins doing that. It means the future looks bright. Brady hits a chopper to second. Otto will go to short for one. There's no way they're going to double up Brady. And now I would definitely think that we'll see Brady running somewhere as he reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 outs, and Brady Kosrich on first. A run in the inning. It's 2-0 Big Reds, and here is Tiger Terpstra, who doubled to right center in his opening appearance. Brady's going to take off, and the throw down to second is not nearly in time. It squirts away. Brady's going to head for third, and he's going to make it easily. So it'll be a stolen base and an error, and Brady moves to within 90 feet of our third run of the night.
That's where I like to see Brady go feet first into second base. He went head first the other night into second base, and he couldn't get up. The ball hopped away like that, and he had to stay at second base.
Chopper left side, foul ball.
I was always a big fan of that pop-up slide.
Yes. Well, you never wanted to stop. You wanted to just keep on running.
True.
And Brady's the same way, though. He's a go-getter, that kid. Now they step off, and they pick him off a third, but they throw it away. It'll be an E5, I believe, as the third baseman, Stubbe's unable to handle it, and Brett comes in with the third run of the ball game. Second error of the game for Clarke. Swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes on Tiger Terpstra, the junior left fielder for the Big Reds, with 2 outs and nobody on. This one's hit in the air behind home plate. Could be playable for Deutsch. And he's able to make the catch to end the inning. But the Big Reds get a couple more. We've played through 2. We lead it 3-0. We're back to Pat Doherty after this. We move to the third. The Centerville Big Reds lead this thing by a score of 3-0. Russ Oker, Chadley Kestner. On the broadcast, Chad Kestner and Josh Bryce will have the 4th inning of the ball game. Trey Reinhardt will go to work here against Evan Hagan, the right fielder. Lifted in the air right back over our heads. You are listening to The Pitch, presented by Hy-Vee on KCOG 1400 AM, 99.7 FM. Also available online at thepitchsportshow.com, where you can get audio and video coverage, and on the Pitch Facebook page. So you got a lot of opportunities, and Josh Price is live tweeting every half inning, giving you updates of what's going on down here at Pat Doherty Field. Inside, the count goes to 2-1 on Evan Hagan, the 7-hitter in the lineup.
Just seems like Trey's trying to overthrow the ball a little bit.
This one's hit in the air to left field, heading towards foul territory. Terpstra going over, and I think he might have made the catch. What a play by Tiger Terpstra down into the bullpen area. I don't know if he's coming back, Chad. There he is.
There he is. It's a heck of a run and catch there by Tiger Terpstra, but you could tell he had a beat on it from the get-go, and he went after it, and that's always nice to have that bullpen there instead of a wall to run into.
So a big-time play by Terpstra for the first out of the inning, and now showing bunt is Zethan May, the designated hitter. He offers and misses, and it's 0-1. Here's the wide and the 0-1 delivery. That one missed, 1-1. Swung on, tapped up in front of the plate. It'll be a foul ball. Caden will let it go foul. So the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's a heads-up play there by Caden to let that ball roll foul, and then grab it once it was in foul territory, because I don't know if he really saw it in time to get the runner at first. Inside, and he hit him. So a free pass, well, somewhat free. He paid a little price for it. And that'll bring up the 9-hitter in the lineup, Dalton Stubbe, the third baseman for Clarke. 3-0, your Big Reds in the lead here. We're in the top of the third. So Reinhardt for the second time today will work from the stretch. This one is a little high, 1-0. 335 down the lines, 397 to straightaway center. This is a big ballpark, especially for high school. You hit a home run here, and you earned it. Stubbe shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a strike call. 1-1. Stubbe's still looking for his first hit on the season. He's got 17 at-bats. Runner goes, fouled back into the net. So head coach Brian Cole trying to force the action a little bit here, put a hit and run on. Stubbe with only 5 strikeouts, Russ, so he's putting the ball in play. He just must be hitting it right at people. Now we've got him picked off of first base, or do we? No. What happened? The ball was still dead, apparently. We must have had timeout at home plate. So Zethan May got a break there as Reinhardt had him picked off of first. See if we throw back over. We do not. Swing and a miss. Stubbe goes down on strikes. That's the second strikeout of the ball game for Trey Reinhardt. And now the top of the lineup, Connor Deutsch, who flew out to left in his first at-bat. Time is called again. We got a balk of some sort. I didn't see what he did, but he balked. I don't know. Did you see it? I did not see it. We'll have to check that on instant replay. So down to second goes Zethan May on the balk, and he moves into scoring position. The first pitch to Connor Deutsch is a ball. 1-0. Line drive, left center field, hit pretty well. Terpstra going back. He's not going to get there. And this one will go all the way to the wall. Deutsch is going to come around second and hit the brakes. So a stand-up double and an RBI for Connor Deutsch. And it's 3-1. And here's Casey Kindred, the shortstop.
with 2 outs. And the man on second, the body of Connor Deutsch. Kindred drew a walk in his first at-bat and was later forced off on a fielder's choice. Or rather doubled off on the line drive to right, where he got himself in a hit-and-run situation. He got a little too far off the bag and wasn't able to get back. 0-1 here on Kindred. That's inside, 1-1. The double by Deutsch is the first hit of the ball game for Clarke. Runner heading for third, and this one's lifted in the air towards Brett at short, and he'll have it to end the inning. So the Big Reds lead it 3-1. We'll head to the bottom of the third right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. Centerville Big Reds lead it 3-1. We go to the bottom of the third. It'll be 2, 3, and 4. McCain Oden, Brett Kosrich, and Trey Reinhardt coming to the plate for the Big Reds. Josh Bryce will join us in the booth for the fourth. And Chad Kestner will have the play-by-play, and Bryce on the color commentation coming up here in the fourth inning. And remember, Josh is live tweeting tonight in between every half inning. So there's a lot of ways to follow the action here. And we will have some more softball games coming for you this summer as well. So a lot of coverage of Big Red baseball and softball on the pitch and the pitch extra innings. Want to thank some of our fine sponsors, J&L Flooring, Cook Insurance, Jim Ireland Menswear, and RK Auto Body, all part of the broadcast on the pitch. And we will have our Power Insurance Hall of Fame Challenge question coming up a little bit later on. Chadley will take on Josh Bryce, and maybe if Centerville Athletic Director Rich Parker is still hanging around, we'll get him involved and see what he knows or doesn't know. McCain Oden steps in. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. This ball is roped into left center field, and it is all kinds of trouble. It's going to go to the wall, and Oden will come around second. Is he going to head for third? Indeed, he is. And it is not going to be in time. It's a triple for McCain Oden.
It's where that big ballpark comes into play, Russ. Hit goes all the way to the fence, and McCain with his speed, no problem getting into third base.
Well, here's Brett Kosrich now with his .298 batting average coming into the ball game. The senior going to play basketball next year at Coe College up in the Cedar Rapids area. And he's got an RBI opportunity here. And that fastball is in there for a strike one. Well, the Indians have their first baseman, Potter, playing out here near the grass. He may be looking to come home with a ground ball. But they're back up the middle. There's a breaking ball that missed, 1-1. Big Reds are 11-5 on the season, 8-3 in the conference, trying to stay in the race for first. That one missed inside, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 delivery, way outside, and it's going to be a wild pitch that gets away. And McCain Oden will cruise in from third for the fourth run of the ball game.
It's a second wild pitch and a pass ball. Clarke's kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
3 balls and 1 strike on Kosrich with a run in the inning. That one is way outside. So Brett Kosrich draws the base on balls. That's the first walk of the game issued by Winship. He did hit Oden back in the first. And now the senior Trey Reinhardt steps in. Try to help his own cause here. Trey grounded to third in his first at-bat. The wind is blowing out a little bit to left field. It'd sure be awesome to see Trey launch one up and out of here. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, and I think that's what he had in mind there. Snap throw down to first is not in time. Kosrich gets dirty.
Trey had a healthy cut there on that first one. I think he heard you talking, Russ.
So no balls and a strike. This one is hit in the air to left center field. Hit pretty well. Kearns goes back and over. He won't get there, and it'll go all the way to the wall. Brett Kosrich is going to be waved around, and he will score easy. Is he just jogging or is he limping a little, Chad? Because he wasn't. I don't think he was really booking, was he? It's almost like he's a little tender or something. But it'll be a triple and an RBI for Trey Reinhardt. That ball would have probably been out of a lot of high school parks. And here's Daniel Hargrave now with the score 5-1 Big Reds. That is off the outside corner. No, it was on the corner, 1-0. Or 0-1, excuse me. That one was off the corner, 1-1. We want to thank the folks at the Thomas Funeral Home for joining us on the broadcast. And Northside Insurance in Centerville, all part of the Pitch Sports Show. Swing and a miss on a nice little breaking ball from Winship. And the count goes to 1-2 strikes. Hargrave grounds this one towards short. They're going to have to hurry. They're not going to do anything. It's going to go into left center field under the glove of Kindred, and that's going to have to be an error. And the run scores to make it 6-0 Big Reds. Still nobody out in the inning. And here's Tyson Bloma, who doubled in his first at-bat, and that'll bring manager Brian Cole out of the dugout to talk to his Oskaloosa Indians. And as he does that, we'll step away. We'll come back on High V's The Pitch right after this. The meeting on the mound is over, and Tyson Bloma takes the first pitch outside for ball one. Winship stays on. Chad, you detected a little bit of work in the Big Red bullpen.
Yeah, it looked like Brady Kosrich was getting some action down there. They might want to get the young man some mound time.
That's a strike called, 1-1. On a nice little breaking ball there from Winship. Strike two called as Winship paints the outside corner with the heater. So we got a ball and 2 strikes on Tyson Bloma. Hargrave leads away from first. This ball is hit towards right center field. It's going to get down. Hargrave will stop at second. And it's a single for Tyson Bloma. Merrick Matthews steps in now. Merrick, just an 8th grader. Still kind of trying to find his groove at the plate, Chad. Hitting under 200, but hey, this kid's going to be a phenomenal ball player for the Big Reds. Breaking ball is a strike called. 6-1 Big Reds. Still nobody out here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Inside, 1-1. The Big Reds will try to blow this thing wide open here.
Merrick looking to add to his RBI total. He only has 3 on the season, but like you said, Russ, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in his good career.
That curveball stayed up and in. So 2 balls and a strike on the young man. From the south side of Centerville. You were a South Sider. I was a little bit of both. Line drive right at the shortstop. And Hargrave's going to be doubled off on some very poor base running. Daniel had every opportunity to get back there, and the junior gets caught. I don't know what he was doing. He froze, but then he took off, and that's unfortunate. The double play on a hard hit ball, and the coaching staff will probably have a little something to say to Daniel, as I'm sure his dad will after the ball game probably.
Yeah, like you said, he froze, and then he lunged towards third base, and then he just couldn't get back in time to beat the throw.
That's something you see. You see that at the major league level. Guys make base running mistakes. But at the high school level, you still see it. I actually think you probably see less base running mistakes at the high school level than you do at the big league level anymore. Here's Caden Kosrich, the catcher for the Big Reds. That breaking ball missed, and it's 2-0. Well, with 2 outs now, we might see Tyson Beloma try to pick up a base here. The Big Reds lead at 6-1. Chad Kestner and Josh Price will have the call of the 4th inning. That one's in the dirt, and it will get away far enough for Beloma to move down to second, and that'll be a wild pitch. Three and 0, Caden with the old Little League move, show bunt and pull back, and a strike called 3-1. Not a fan of that at the high school level. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball towards the shortstop, Kindred. He's got it, fires across, and the inning is over. The Big Reds pick up 3 more. We lead it by a score of 6-1. We'll head to the 4th when we come back on Hy-Vee's The Pitch.
Welcome back to Pat Doherty Field, where your Big Reds lead the Clarke Indians 6-1. For Clarke in the top half of the 4th inning, they will have Billy Otto, Ethan Potter, and Peyton Winship. First 3 scheduled batters. Trey Reinhardt returns to the mound after we saw some action down there in the bullpen, but Trey's going to get another at least half inning in here.
Yeah, Trey kind of settling in a little bit, and gave up that run there last inning, and I think he's kind of settling in on the mound. I don't know that Trey does a whole lot of throwing, so
no,
he's not doing too bad out there.
No, he's not doing too bad. He's only 3 2/3 innings coming into this game, and it just seems like early on Trey was trying to beef up and throw some heat by some people, and he just got a little wild.
Yep, trying to grunt it down there a little bit, and just kind of couldn't find the strike zone.
Well, Caden Kosrich finally comes out of the dugout. He was the last batter there. He had to get the equipment on, and there's the final warm-up pitch as Caden fires it down to second base. And we are ready to start the top half of the 4th inning with Billy Otto. He steps in. He flied out to right field. First at bat. It'll be second look for Billy at Trey Reinhardt with the wind and the pitch. Fastball strike, caught the outside corner. 0-1 the count. That fastball got away from Caden just a little bit outside to even the count at 1-1.
Call that one a cutter. Had some movement on it.
The 2-seamer.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Just had a little bit of a dive at the end there.
There you go. Trey took a little off that one, threw right down Broadway, and hit back up to the shortstop. A nice fire across the diamond from Brett Kosrich to get Otto just by about a half a step.
Yeah, see, that was a bang-bang play. I think Brett had to put a little bit extra on that one, make sure to get it over there in time.
That is the first out of the inning, and it will bring up Ethan Potter, who flared up to McCain, who made a nice catch in foul territory to get Potter in the 2nd inning. First pitch from Trey Reinhardt is a ball just a bit outside. The wind in the pitch, and that's going to plunk him. Second hit batsman, I believe, by Trey.
Yes, sir.
That sent Potter down to first base. And that's what we were talking about earlier. The free passes can come back and bite you. That's how they got their first run.
Yep, and that's how the Big Reds have scored a lot of runs. You know, the pass balls and kind of the errors. That's how they've put up most of their runs on the board tonight as well.
So Potter getting some attention from the first base coach down there, getting it rubbed out a little bit there. Got him right back on that shoulder blade.
Yeah, that might tense up a little bit later on.
Yeah,
that's going to be sore.
Winship steps in. Grounded out back to, I believe he bunted back to Trey there in the 2nd inning. First pitch in there for a ball just inside. Potter takes off running, a little hit and run. Oh, just off the glove of McCain Oden. McCain just about got him. Fire in from Terpstra. We're going to fire it over second base and couldn't get Winship There's a nice base running there by Winship. He saw the throw go to third base, and he took off right for second base. McCain tried to cut him down at second. Just Tyson Beloma just couldn't quite get the tag down on him. So one out here in the top of the fourth inning. Runners on second and third. Potter on third. Winship on second. That'll bring up Kearns to try to get some RBIs, get Clarke back into this ball game. First pitch is outside. Ball one.
It's like Kearns struck out back in the second.
That was Trey's first strikeout of the ball game. Second pitch is the ball. Trey falls behind, 2-0. Your Big Reds lead 6-1. There's a line drive up the middle. That's going to fall for a base hit. Could be 2 RBIs. Brady comes up firing. It's cut off by brother Brett to keep the runner at first, but that is 2 RBIs for Kearns with the 1-out single. There again, Josh, the free passes.
Yeah, putting the extra man on there, and that ended up costing the Big Reds.
Well, let's see if Trey can settle down, get us out of this inning. Just 1 out here in the top half of the fourth inning. Throw over to first, not in time. As Kearns dives back into the base, just underneath the tag of Daniel Hargrave. Hagan at bat, flew out to left field. That was a heck of a catch by Tiger out in left field. Hagan squares around the bunt, and Kearns will take second base. A little bunt and steal there.
Yeah, after their hit and run in the first, kind of went south on him there.
Caden did a nice job just to, the pitch was inside for ball one, and he kind of a hard pitch to handle and throw down to second base to get anything on it. There's a swing and a miss by Hagan to even the count at 1-1. So runner on second and Kearns, just 1 out here in the top half of the fourth inning. Trey with the delivery, just a bit outside, that fastball. 2-1 is your count. On deck is May, the DH for the Indians. Here's a pitch, foul back. Evens it back up at 2 apiece. Your score is 6-3 now in the top half of the fourth inning. Your Big Reds still in front. The Clarke making some noise trying to get back in it. Trey's pitch missed up and in. It runs it full. Swing on and a foul ball going down the left side.
Got to get out of play there.
That was just a defensive swing there by Hagan just to get the bat on the ball and
put the ball in play and see what happened there.
See another pitch from Trey Reinhardt. Full count, runner on second and Kearns. 1 out here in the top half of the fourth inning. Another foul ball, well out of play, down the left side. Trey will get a new ball from the catcher, Caden Kosrich.
Trey might want to think about changing speeds here. He's been on top of that pitch twice.
Trey gets a sign, comes set. There goes the runner to third, swing and a miss. See if we can get the double play. Not in time to get Kearns running down to third base. Stolen base there, but we did get the strikeout. That's Trey's third strikeout and the second out of the inning. Third strikeout of the game, I should say.
Yep.
That will bring up the DH, Zethan May, who was hit in the third inning. First pitch from Trey is his fastball down the middle, strike 1. Centerville leads 6-3, 2 outs here in the top half of the fourth inning. Second pitch down and away, 1-1 is your count. Trey took a little off there, still missed high and tight. 2-1's the count. There's a strike. Caught the outside corner with that fastball. 2-2. Be nice to see Trey just blow one by him right here and get us out of this inning.
Reach down and let her rip.
And he did. May got just a piece of it. Fouled it back towards us. Up and out of play. So we'll stay 2-2. Runner at third for Indians in the body of Kearns. There's another foul ball up past us. And the umpire's looking for some more baseballs.
Guess we got to call it a night. We're out of baseballs. Shut her down and go home, I guess.
Ryan Foster come firing out with the baseball. Threw it out to Trey. The umpire gets a couple more balls for his gunny sack there. 2-2 as you count. The deuce is 2-2 with 2 outs. Don't mess with the 2-2. Here's the delivery. Low. Ball 3.
It's a good thought there. A little low and away. Maybe try to get him to reach on strike 3 there.
I don't know if Caden actually thought he missed that one or if he was just deking the runner at third. There's a swing and a miss. That will get us out of the inning. 4th strikeout of the ballgame for Trey Reinhardt. Clarke does some damage, gets them back into the ballgame. 2 runs on 2 hits. Or excuse me, just 1 hit, 1 left on. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Your Big Reds lead 6-3.
We're back here at Pat Doherty Field as the Big Reds take their 6-3 lead into the bottom of the 4th here against the Indians from Clarke. I think it's still Winship out there on the mound, I believe. Yep, just finishing up his warm-up pitches. First 3 batters for the Big Reds here would be 9, 1, and 2. We're going to have Brady Kozarich, Tiger Terpstra, and McCain Oden to lead it off here. Brady striding his way up to home plate. Looks like he reached on an error and scored on a fielder's choice last inning. So, see what he can do here.
It's always nice starting off the inning with Brady Kozarich. He's kind of like another leadoff hitter down there in that 9th spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet swinging lefty with a ton of speed. So let's see what happens here. Put the ball in play. And
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't try to lay one down here.
Yeah, and I've seen him do that a couple of times this year and cause some havoc. First pitch down and away to ball 1 to Brady. Winship comes set. And the 1-0. Fouled off over the 3rd base dugout. Count goes to 1-1 now. Kozarich stands in and the pitch. Downstairs. Count goes to 2-1 now.
We were commenting last ballgame how Brady likes to take everything the opposite field, and he makes a living doing it.
Yep, which we got some issue here. The umpire telling the pitcher something. Oh, I think about maybe going to his mouth while standing on the rubber, I believe. The pitch to Kozarich. Kind of a looper over the shortstop, and that's going to be down for a base hit for Kozarich. Takes a big turn at first. Now it brings up our leadoff hitter, Tiger Terpstra, with 1 on. It's like Tiger popped out to the catcher in his last at bat. If I can read this scorecard correctly.
Easy.
Russ gave me a hard time about his handwriting back there. Terpstra went deep the other night down here, kind of surprised himself. I don't think he knew the ball went out and hit himself a home run. First pitch, line down the 3rd base line past the 3rd baseman. Kozarich right around second into 3rd, and Terpstra's going to take advantage of the throw to 3rd and move himself right on into 2nd base. Coming up now with nobody out, runners on 2nd and 3rd, the big swinger, McCain Oden, coming to the plate now.
A little hit and run there. Brady was taken off on that first pitch. I don't know if it was called or not, but Tiger got a pitch he liked and lined it down the left field line.
Yep. Winship from the windup now. And the pitch. In the dirt and outside. Nice stop by the catcher there. Count goes to 1-0 on McCain.
Deutsch has been, he's had his problems back there, a couple wild pitches and a pass ball, but a lot of breaking balls from Winship.
There's been a lot of balls in the dirt. He's been working hard back there. Winship with the 1-0 now. McCain hits a bullet down third, right past the third baseman again. In comes Brady Kosarich, and in comes Terpstra to score. It's a 2 RBI base hit for McCain Oden right there. That stretches the lead back to 8-3. Now standing at the plate is Brett Kosarich, the senior. Brett walked and scored in his last at bat. Winship back into the stretch, looks in, gets the sign. Oden takes his lead from first, and the pitch. Ball, strike on the outside corner, excuse me. And then a quick throw from the catcher back over to first as McCain was wandering a little bit down there. Kosarich stands in. His bat's kind of starting to come alive here in the last couple of games. Kind of started to hit his groove after struggles early in the season. Winship comes set with a 1-0. And the pitch is upstairs. McCain's on his horse and on the second base. That'll be a stolen base. They're not going to get him out there. Ball was high, run the count 2-0. Now we've got another runner in scoring position. Oh, excuse me, this counts 1-1. I guess I missed a strike there. No, first pitch was a strike. I'll get myself caught up eventually.
The scoreboard operator missed that one.
He's trying hard over there, Chad. He's trying hard over there. And the 1-1 pitch downstairs a little bit. Count runs 2-1 on Kosarich.
I'm just glad to see him out of the house. My son running the scoreboard over there.
And he's doing a fine job over there. Kane takes his lead from second. Pitcher gives him a look. Into Kosarich. High and tight. Curveball kind of hung up there. Count goes to 3-1.
Thanks, Russ. Russ is kind of doing it all here. He's picking up after me.
It's about time he did something, of
yes.
course, isn't it?
And that wore him out, apparently.
And the 3-1 from Winship. Ball missed outside. Ball 4 as Kosarich takes a walk. Now coming to the plate, the pitcher, big Trey Reinhardt. Heavy hitter coming to the plate here.
Trey with those 5 home runs on the season. We were talking that last one he hit probably would have been out of any other ballpark.
That's kind of the disadvantage of playing here in this big park. He probably would have had several more. First pitch, Reinhardt low and in the dirt for ball 1, 1-0. Got McCain Oden out at second base and Brett Kosarich over at first. There's nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Big Reds have already plated 2 runs. The pitch, high fly ball to left field. I kind of lost it in the net. That thing is gone. That's a home run.
My.
3-run blast for Trey Reinhardt.
That thing just carried and carried. I thought it was a routine fly ball.
I thought it was just a fly ball out there myself, and that thing just kept going. I don't know if you guys have talked about it, but the flags out there in center field are blowing out to left, and I think Trey took advantage of that. So a 3-run shot for his, I believe, his 6th home run of the season.
Yes, sir.
Still nobody out. Bases are empty now, and the first baseman, Daniel Hargrave, stands in. Hargrave, a big lefty, standing in.
Coach Cole going to see what Winship is made of here, it looks like.
Yep. Hargrave, first pitch, fouled straight back and out of play. 0-1. Big Reds now lead 11-3 here. Bats are starting to come alive in this inning. A lot of the first runs were kind of scored off errors and pass balls, and this time they're earning them. Second pitch, a little bit outside, 1-1 now. Again, still nobody away here in the bottom of the 4th. Big Reds have already put up 5 runs in this half of the inning. The 1-1 from Winship. Curveball missed low, 2-1. Hargrave's got the duty at first base tonight. He's been on the mound most of the time I've been down here so far this year. 2-1 pitch. High fly ball, line drive out to left field, caught by the left fielder. That's our first out of the inning. That brings to the plate Tyson Maloma, who doubled and scored in his first at bat and singled in his last at bat. One away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Big Reds lead 11-3. Winship taking a long look in, trying to decide what he's going to throw. And the pitch. And the ball hit high in the air to left field. Left fielder looks like he's got a beat on it and takes a stab at it and makes the catch out there in left field. So back-to-back flyouts to left field. Bringing up now the right fielder, Merrick Matthews. Merrick, I believe, just an 8th grader. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I mean, he's a fantastic ball player. I got the pleasure to watch him a lot in the Little League, and now get to watch him here in high school.
I had the pleasure of coaching him.
Yeah, I think you beat me with him a couple of times, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. First pitch from Winship, inside, ball 1.
Merrick's one of those kids you just love to coach. He'll do anything you ask him to do, doesn't say hardly a word, and just always going.
Yep, throws left, bats right. And the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball, kind of a little bloop flare to second base, and that's the 3rd out of the inning as Merrick flies out to second base. Big Reds put up 5 runs in the bottom of the inning and now lead 11-3.
We'll take a break. We'll be back right after these messages.
11-3, thanks to Josh Bryce and Chad Kestner for the call of the 4th inning. And we head now to the top half of the 5th. And there'll be a new man on the bump for the Big Reds. It'll be the 8th grader, Brady Kosleridge.
Let's see if we can get some stats here on Brady for you. Brady Kosleridge is 4 appearances. He's 0-1, only 8 innings pitched. Earned run average of 3.5. Opposing batters batting .212 off the young left-hander.
This is a young man that's going to be a big part of this pitching staff for a number of years. Coach Hodges in an 11-3 ball game going to get the youngster a little work on the mound. For Clarke, it'll be Dalton Stubbe scheduled to hit here, the 3rd baseman. And then Connor Deutsch and Casey Kindred. So 9-1-2 for the Indians from Clarke. The Big Reds would like nothing more than to hold them here and get a couple of runs and shorten this game up.
Russ, it looks like Trey moved out to left field and Tiger moved to center field as Brady came in to pitch.
So some defensive changes for the Big Reds. And that's a strike called. So Trey Reinhardt is in line to get the win here in this game. He moves out to left field. Tiger Terpstra is in center. Merrick Matthews still in right. That is a ball, 1-1. McCain Oden at 3rd. Brett Kosleridge at short. Tyson Bloma at 2nd. Daniel Hargrave at 1st. Behind the dish is Caden Kosleridge, and on the bump is Brady Kosleridge. High hopper towards short. The senior, Brett Kosleridge, has got it. The throw is up the line, but a nice play by Daniel Hargrave. No, he's unable to hold on to the ball. Doggone it, he came off to make the tag, and then the ball squirted free. And it'll be a throwing error on Brett Kosleridge. His buddy Hargrave unable to bail him out. And that'll be the first error of the game, I believe, on the Centerville Big Reds. And here's the top of the lineup, Connor Deutsch. 11 runs on 9 hits and 1 blunder for the Big Reds. 3 runs, 2 hits, and 3 mishaps for the Clarke Indians. Next up for the Big Reds and the Redettes, Monday night at Knoxville in a big matchup on the boys' side of things. It's a varsity doubleheader for the Big Red baseball team. And if they want to be in the conference race, they've got to sweep the Knoxville Panthers. Monday night, the Big Reds at Knoxville. The Redettes are at Knoxville as well. They're 9th grade JV varsity. The Redettes at home tonight as well against Clarke. Strike called. And then next Tuesday, I believe it is. AJ, is that when we're back here at Pat Doherty Field? The 2-1 is swung on and hit to left field. Trey Reinhardt drifts back towards the track and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Casey Kindred. And we will have some more Redette softball for you this summer as well. So next Tuesday will be not only the Facebook Live broadcast, but it'll also be the Pitch Sports Show again for next week. as we'll be right back here at Pat Doherty Field. That's a strike called, 0-1 on the two-man of the lineup for the Indians. Casey Kindred, the shortstop. Chad, he's just an 8th grader, so very talented young man. Fly ball lifted in the air, left field, foul territory. Trey Reinhardt goes over and makes the catch. Nice play by Trey, heading into the Indian bullpen down there for the second out of the inning.
Trey making it look easy out there in left field. Trey's kind of a jack of all trades. He catches, he outfield, he pitches.
He can play a little third for you.
Yes.
He also could play a little first base if he needed to, I'm sure. Here's the three-man, Billy Otto, the second baseman. Brady checks him at first. He's back in. Otto's a senior for the Indians. In between innings, we'll have our Hall of Fame challenge, as we'll have Josh come back over and take on Chad and see how he does. Coach Parker had to bail on us to go check out the softball action. Our Power Insurance Hall of Fame challenge. Steve Reich called. 1-1.
Russ, this looks like it is a fairly young. There's only 2 seniors, Billy Otto and Ethan Potter. Only 2 seniors on this Clarke Indian team.
The 1-1 is swung on and missed, and Caden fired out of first, but diving back in there is Dalton Stubbe. Well, if the weather cooperates, they will play some JV baseball when this one is over. They went varsity first tonight to make sure that they were able to get the games in, because there's some threatening weather coming our way. That's chopped foul. A ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. With 2 outs and a man on first. And Dalton Stubbe. And that one missed, 2-2. Eleven to 3, Big Reds in the lead here at Pat Doherty Field. This is chopped foul. Out of play. Big Reds are off this weekend, as are the Redettes. As you get into the season here, Chad, the Big Reds have now, this will be their 17th game of the year, and it's kind of nice along the way to have a little bit of break through the middle. Guys can get a little stale. So it'll be, hopefully they get a chance to maybe get away from the game a little bit this weekend and just enjoy things.
Yeah, it seems like, I haven't talked to Coach Hodges, but it doesn't seem like anybody's really got any serious injuries.
Runner goes on the pitch, and this one's lifted into center field, where Tiger Terpstra will cruise over and make the catch for the final out of the inning. The Big Reds lead at 11 to 3. If they can get a couple here, we can end this thing. We're back to Pat Doherty Field right after this. We move to the bottom half of the fifth, and it is time for the Power Insurance Hall of Fame Challenge. We'll keep it short and sweet tonight. The Miracle Mets. The Miracle Mets, under the slogan, "You Gotta Believe," won a World Series. In what year? What year were the Miracle Mets? Now, this is a baseball question, which helps Josh, but it's a Mets question, which helps Chad. Closest two's going to win if you don't get it right on. What year were the Miracle Mets? Brought to you by Power Insurance of Moravia. Call 724-9000. Here's Caden Kozarich now. The 8-hitter in the lineup. That's outside. 1-0. Well, what'd you guys come up with? Chad?
69.
69, Josh? It was 1969. Chad knows his Mets. And he wins the Power Insurance Hall of Fame Challenge.
Take that, Kovac.
1-1 down, Caden Kosrich. Winship still in here for the Clarke Indians. That's downstairs, 2-1. Want to thank the folks at Northside Insurance in Centerville. Quote to claim, they'll take care of you at Northside Insurance. That is a strike call. Two balls and two strikes on the sophomore Caden Koslerich, with the Big Reds leading at 11-3. There's one chopped back towards the middle. This is going to be a tough play for Otto, and he's not going to be able to get it, and that should be a base hit there for Caden Koslerich, and that'll lead to a courtesy runner here. Smiley Cochran comes out to run for the Big Reds, and Brian Cole, the manager, is out to talk to the home plate umpire, and we'll see what his concern is here. It doesn't look like he's making a change, more so having a little bit of a beef. Yeah, we don't know what that conversation was all about. It seemed very civil, though, like they're going to be able to get along.
Maybe he was just asking how the car was
from
earlier tonight.
There you go. Here's Brady Kosrich, the 9-man in the lineup. Brady is 1 for 2 in the ball game.
Which, Russ, obviously we don't have the pitch count going, but Winship, just a sophomore, I don't remember how many pitches he gets in a ball game now.
That is a strike call. No balls and 1 strike here. And that one is fouled down. Nothing in 2 on the 8th grader Brett Koslerich. And this one he swings at and fouls straight back. So it'll stay at 0-2.
So, Russ, it looks like 110 pitches is the most, and then it just goes on days rest on how many pitches he's thrown. So 66 to 90 would be 3 days rest for a sophomore. And then 91 to the 110 would be the 4 days rest.
So 110 is the maximum that he can throw.
Yeah, that's the way I'm reading this. He may only finish pitching to the current batter. So once he hits that 110.
Smiley Cochran gets a good jump and swipes second base. And the Big Reds have another man in scoring position. We'd love to see him get a couple of runs here and just put this thing to bed. One ball and 2 strikes. This one's lifted in the air, out of play. Breaking ball hit hard into right field. Base hit for Kosrich, bobbled a little bit out there and right by Hagan, and that's going to allow Cochran to come around and score easy. So an RBI single to right for Brady, and it is 12-3. Big Reds in the lead, and that'll bring up the top of the lineup, Tiger Terpstra.
Russ, that's one of the few balls you'll see Brady pull. He normally goes the other way with it.
That breaking ball in on the hands, and he turned on it. It's good to see him do that. That's outside. 1-0. Throw down to first, and Brady's back in. Now, a lot of times you would not steal up by 9 runs, but with the pitch count rules and everything, you want to put these games away as soon as you can, so I wouldn't be surprised here to see Brady try to pick up second base here. I don't think there's a scenario that would have him throwing him out, as he is pretty quick. They throw over to first and make him get a little dirty, but he's back in pretty easy. Hunter Cowan, former Big Red standout, is helping this team out. He's coaching first base. He plays college ball up at Marshalltown. He'll be joined by his former Big Red teammate Trey Reinhardt next year. That's down low, and again, they're going to snap throw down there, and that was a little bit too close. Probably when you're up 12-3, there's really no reason for Brady to make an out on the bases as far as the secondary lead situation. If you're going to go, then go. Other than that, there's really no reason to be jockeying around here. I think most people in the ballpark would say, let's just play baseball and get this thing over with at this point. If you're going to do something, do it. We'll see what they do. There he does go. And a curveball, and the throw is not in time. So Brady gets the stolen base. We never really got a call from the umpire. But since Brady's still standing there, I assume that means he's safe. Throw was off the mark a little bit. And Brady Kosrich represents the game-ending run. If we can bring him in here, it'd be a 10-run rule after 5. 2 balls and no strikes here on the leadoff man, Tiger Terpstra, who started the game in left field and then moved over to center. And that is a strike called. 2-1.
Tiger made that outstanding catch in the bullpen there in the first inning.
2 balls and a strike. Downstairs. That one's in the dirt. And Brady's going to take off for third. And he's safe. So the game-ending run is 90 feet away, and it's ball 4 to Terpstra. And that may constitute a pitching change here. As manager Brian Cole comes out. 2 on, nobody out. And if the Clarke Indians want to extend the game, they're going to have to get the Big Reds out of this inning without them scoring another run. We will have a pitching change. Kindred, the shortstop, who I believe is a 8th grader, he's going to come in to pitch for the Clarke Indians. And we'll step away. We'll come back with the Big Reds leading at 12-3 right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. Centerville Big Reds lead at 12-3. A pitching change here for the Clarke Indians. Coming in to pitch will be Casey Kindred, who's just an 8th grader. He's done a pretty solid job at shortstop tonight. Now we'll see what he does on the mound. I didn't see for sure, but it looks like probably it'll just be a straight change and that Peyton Winship will go to shortstop. Chad, young man on the mound here, what do you know about it?
Yeah, he's got 1 start, 2 appearances. He's 0-1 on the season. He's only thrown 5 2/3 innings. His ERA is 8.65. He has 11 base on balls with 7 strikeouts, and opposing batters are batting .269 against him.
Well, the game-ending run stands just 90 feet away in the body of Brady Kosrich. And on first base is Tiger Terpstra. McCain Oden will have a chance to send us all to supper here. Let's see if he can do it.
McCain came in batting .525. He's 2 for 2 with and he was hit in the first inning.
Up and in, 1-0.
So he's going to, looks like he's going to increase that batting average a little bit, Russ.
Yeah, and that's impressive because he's already hitting well over 500. That is a strike called. Remember, we're back next Tuesday for a double dip of the pitch and the pitch extra innings. So we got a lot going on here next Tuesday. That's down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. Surprised not to see the Clarke infield in here, Chad, with the game-ending run at third base. I'm a little puzzled by why you wouldn't be up on the grass. That doesn't make any sense at all unless you're just ready for the game to be over, I guess.
I can't imagine that they would be, but you never know.
Ground ball and up over the head of the third baseman, Stubbe, into left for a base hit. And the ball game is over. The Big Reds will 10-run. The Clarke Indians winning it 13-3. The Centerville Big Reds will run their record on the season now to 12-5 and 9-3 in conference play. We'll grab a break. We will come back and have the Demery auction game summary right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch and the Pitch Extra Innings. Centerville Big Reds win it by a score of 13-3. They put it away in 5 innings. And it is time now for the Demery Auction Service game summary with Chad Lee Kestner's got the rundown.
Yeah, the Clarke Indians had 3 runs on 3 hits and 3 men left on base, and they had the 3 errors, and that was kind of at the beginning of the game, a couple of wild pitches and a pass ball that kind of got the Big Reds going to start the run scoring. And for the Big Reds, we had 13 runs on 11 hits and just left 3 men on base. So that was a good job by the Big Reds, making sure that the runners that did get on base came around and scored.
Strong performance by the Big Reds. Trey Reinhardt gets the win on the mound. The senior had a good outing, threw strikes for the most part. He got deep in probably deeper in the counts than we would have wanted, but he didn't walk a lot of guys. He got the job done. Now the Big Reds have the weekend off and then a tough one coming up Monday night. We'll talk about that when we come back on our wrap here on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. Centerville Big Reds win it 13-3. Russ Oker, Chad Lee Kestner were joined now by Josh Bryce, who called a little bit of the ball game for us. He got to call the home run. You don't get to do that at this ballpark all that much.
Yeah, I don't get to do that much at all, to be honest with you. So that was pretty cool. Trey with the big 3-run shot down there to left field. So kind of iced the cake, I guess, on this one.
And speaking of icing the cake, you've got a great bakery department out there at Hy-Vee.
Yeah, old Steve Brown kind of knows what he's doing out there. He's been doing it for what seems like about 115 years. But, yeah, a lot of great stuff out there. We have a fantastic cake decorator in Erica Thorderson. So anything you're looking for, any kind of events or anything, she can do it all. She's actually pretty amazing. So, yeah, stop by and check us out.
What all you got for other deals out there at Hy-Vee?
A lot of great stuff. You know, it's hot outside. We've got Gatorade 8-packs for just $2.99. We have Pepsi 24-packs for just $4.88. We also have Hy-Vee 4-quart pail ice cream for just $2.99. And then tomorrow only, if you come in, for every $50 you spend, you can save 40 cents a gallon on your Fuel Saver card. So if you're thinking about that summer trip, you might go stock up on some groceries and save some money on gas.
All right, all of that right out there at Hy-Vee. Chad Lee, the Big Reds were expected to win this contest. And they did, and the thing you like to see is you can fall out of a conference race if you lose games like this. You also can burn up a lot of pitching if you don't just take care of business. They did what they were supposed to do, came out and just took care of business tonight.
Yeah, they did. Like we said, Trey kind of went deep in some of the counts early on, but he settled in there and did a nice job pitching. And then Brady Kosrich came in and got the save for the Big Reds, and the Big Reds put up another nice outing with some runs, 13 runs on those 11 hits. So the Big Reds got the bats going, and hopefully they can keep that going into next week with the big battle against Knoxville.
Monday night, Josh, doubleheader at Knoxville. If they want to win conference, they're going to have to sweep them. Right now, Knoxville is, to the best of our knowledge, unless something happened tonight, still undefeated in conference. We're 3 games back. You get a sweep of Knoxville, and you make this thing interesting coming down the stretch.
Yeah, I actually got a chance to talk to Coach Hodges this morning, and he talked a little bit about that. I think he said that Knoxville's got Eddyville tonight, I believe, and he said, you never know. They kind of stumble and fall, and then we go up there and take a game or two from Knoxville, and the Big Reds are right in the hunt. The bats have been showing up the last few games for the Big Reds, so hopefully they can kind of keep that going, and you never know. Like I said, you can't drop a game like this. They didn't. The Big Reds came out here and took care of business, and so now they're going to be on to Knoxville.
We'll take a break. We'll come back and look to wrap up here at Pat Doherty Field right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch and the Pitch Extra Innings. Centerville Big Reds won it 13-3. Next up for the Big Reds, they head to Knoxville next Monday night for a big conference doubleheader. Our next broadcast will be next Tuesday, right back here at Pat Doherty Field against Pella, and that will also, again, be a double dip where we do both the Pitch Sports Show and the Pitch Extra Innings. I want to thank our fine sponsors here on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. They include Northside Insurance, Thomas Funeral Home, RK Auto Body, Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop, Jim Ireland Menswear, Cook Insurance, the Owl Pharmacy, Pete Harkness Chevrolet Buick, J&L Flooring, the Daily Iowegian, Henley Dental, Chico Construction, and Power Insurance with our Hall of Fame Challenge, and our presenting sponsor, Hy-Vee. For Josh Bryce, Chad Lee Kestner, A.J. Anderson, and Brandon Miller behind the scenes. Again, the Big Reds win it 13-3. From Pat Doherty Field, I'm Russ W. Oker saying, so long, everybody.